Welcome back. If you just joined us, we've been looking at the reforms in the public service and how far has the federal government gone in implementing these reforms. And our guest on this episode of Question Time is Dr. Joe Abba, the Director General of Bureau of Public Service Reforms. Don't go away. Now, most of these irregularities is also being traced to the recruitment system. So this has come under heavy criticism. So what are you doing to step up this procedure in line with international best practice?
Already the Federal Civil Service Commission is working very hard on that. The vacancies are now openly advertised. They are available online. You don't need to go and see anybody to get a form. You can apply online. And the process has become a lot more open and transparent than it was in the past. But you need to be very careful with the approach of many Nigerians. You know, our mentality is if I apply and I didn't get it, then somebody must have paid a bribe to get it. That's the nature of our people. And if I take promotion exams and I haven't passed, it must be because somebody has bribed someone. If people are confident that that is the case, there is a well laid out process. You can apply to have your form reviewed. You can apply to have your exam reviewed, and it will be done independently. But people, it's often easier and more sexy to make these allegations, which, like you quite rightly said, are very often unfounded.
What is responsible for the delay of Mr. Oronsaye's report on the reforms of public service and parastatals?
Government is not reluctant at all. Government has actually adopted the report and published a white paper in response to that report in 2014. What has happened is that the report was actually submitted in 2012, but the white paper wasn't put in place until 2014. Unfortunately, the last administration rejected most of the recommendations in that white paper and only accepted a few. And then having accepted them, did not make available the resources to actually make implementation possible. Since the new administration has come in, BPSR has been working under the leadership of the Secretary to Government of the Federation to revise and review both the Oronsaye report, because it's now nearly 5 years old. So a number of things have changed. So we are revisiting both the Oronsaye report and the white paper in response to it.
Part of the things this current administration identified on assumption of office was that most of the agencies are playing similar roles. So what is the Bureau of Public Service Reforms doing to curb the practice of duplication of roles in the public service?
Well, that is precisely what the Oronsaye report was mandated to do. And so the terms of reference of the Oronsaye report was look at any duplications in roles, look at any overlaps, look at places where government should stop funding, if necessary, look at agencies that should be abolished outright. Those are what is in the report. And so the government white paper agreed with some, didn't agree with others. And what we're doing on Monday is, again, like I said, to take a holistic view, given current realities, which ones we should sustain and which ones we should not. That is actually the work of the Oronsaye report and the white paper that I've been talking to you about.
Could you tell us some of the agencies you are considering merging or scrapping?
Okay. So the Oronsaye report recommended the merger of EFCC, ICPC, and the Code of Conduct Bureau. Government in the 2014 white paper said no to that, and so we're going to look at that again. You would have heard opinions that said EFCC duplicates the work of ICPC and vice versa. There are all sorts of arguments in that regard. Then you've got agencies like the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, as well as the Refugee Commission, Federal Refugee Commission. Are they doing similar things? Could they be merged or not? And then you've got Oronsaye report also recommended the merger of the Nigerian Television Authority, the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Voice of Nigeria. Are they doing the same things? Are they doing the similar things? But, you know, there were things in our view of value in the Orosori report. There were also some things that we think needs revisiting. So as an example, it classed some regulatory agencies as professional associations and said government should stop funding them. In some cases, it made certain recommendations that are not supported by international good practice. I'll just give you one example. It recommended the merger of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority with the Meteorological Agency and one other. And we wrote to the International Civil Aviation Authority and sought their advice. And their advice, quite rightly in my view, is you should not merge a regulatory agency with a service provider because you lose that regulatory independence. And so it is not everything that Orosanye recommended that actually is fit and proper for implementation. And that is why we need to be sensible in the way we do it.
Dr. Joe Abba, DG, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, thank you for making our time to be part of this episode of Question Time. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And that's it on this episode of Question Time. You may also send us a comment on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Join us next week on another exciting episode of the show on Channels Television. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru saying goodbye.